Hello guys, we're going to be talking about simultaneous equations today, and basically what you need to know is that the coefficients of any of your variables have to be the same before you can carry out the solving of that problem. So if you look at this easy one of the variables, the x, already has 4 as a coefficient in both equations here. So this is making that easy because some of the job to calculate this has been done for you. So first thing first, if I get my pen ready, we need to eliminate this one that already has the same coefficient here. How do we eliminate it? You can clearly see that if I say 4x take away 4x, I'll get 0. So that would knock that off. That will eliminate the 4x. Now, it doesn't matter if I have gone from the bottom to the top by saying 4x take away 4x, or I go from the top to the bottom by saying 4x take away 4x, I'm still going to get 0. So if I go from bottom to top, I have to go from bottom to top on the remaining terms here. So we've done 4x take away 4x. Now we're going to do negative 3y take away positive y. Now remember that this takeaway happened because you have same signs for the 4. Both 4s here are positive. So we have what we call SSS, as in same sign subtract. So because you have a positive here for the 4 and a positive here for the 4 here, same sign, you then subtract the terms from each other. So if we do negative 3y minus a positive y, you get negative 3y minus y, which gives you minus y, which gives you negative 4y. Now this negative 4y equals, if you look at that, we've done this bit, we're going from bottom to top, remember, but like I said, if you go from top to bottom or to bottom to top, it doesn't matter, just stick to whatever you're doing from the very beginning. So 7 take away negative 1 will give you 8. So we have 8 there, and our y becomes, we have to divide both sides by negative 4 to get our y, and our y becomes negative 2. Now that we've done our y, we can actually substitute the value for our y into any of these original equations. So let's take the bottom one, for example, 4x minus 3. Instead of putting y there, I put the value above for y here, which is negative 2 in there. And now we should have 4x minus, or positive 6 rather, because a negative 3 times negative 2 will give you a positive 6 equals 7. Remember, we're using the bottom one as in 4x minus 3y equals 7. So we need to substitute our value of y into that bit. That's what we've done. So this becomes 4x equals 7 take away 6, which is 1. And our x then becomes 1 over 4. Because to get rid of this 4 here, you've got to divide it by 4, and we divide this bit by 4. So clearly, if we check our answer, a quarter of 4 is 1. If we put the 1 with a different color pen here, if I want to check my answer, a quarter, because I said x was a quarter, so a quarter of 4 is 1, plus my y. My y is negative 2. So a plus and a negative 2 will give you a negative 2. And you can clearly see that 1 take away 2 is definitely negative 1. So that definitely shows that these answers are correct. Okay? So remember the same sign subtract. Now, this is a medium type question. Why? Because none of the variables have the same coefficient. So we've got to make one of the variables the same coefficient. It doesn't matter if you make the x's the same or you make the y the same, you still get your own, you still get the same answer. So I am going to highlight this and put it on a different slide. I'm going to put this on a different slide so that we can see it clearly. So if I paste it on here, now to make this bit here same coefficient, or this bit same coefficient, actually let's make this same coefficient. So if I make this something like a 10, it doesn't have to be 10. You could make it 20 and make this 20, but let's just make 10. So how can I change this to 10 and how can I change this to 10? If I multiply the whole bit here by 2 and multiply the whole bit here by 5, the y variable would have a coefficient of 10. So let's go. So the first one now becomes 15x plus 10y equals 20. And the second one becomes 8x plus 10y equals 34. All right, so this is our new equation here. This is 20, please. So now that we have a variable with the same coefficient, we need to get rid of this. Remember, because they have the same sign, as in your SSS, same sign subtract, you are going to subtract all the terms from each other. Now, the first example I did with you, I went from the bottom to the top. This time, I'm going to go from the top to the bottom. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. You still get the same answer. So if we do 10y take away positive 10y, it's the same thing as 10y minus 10y, which is 0. So that's not off. Now, 15x take away 8x is 7x, and equals 20 take away 34 is negative 14. Now, our x then becomes, we divide both sides by 7 and you get negative 2. So that's our x. Now we're going to substitute the value of x into any of these original equations. So let's take the top one, for example. So 3x, instead of the x, we'll not write negative 2, all right, plus 2y equals 4. That's the original equation, but we're substituting the value of x into our x here. So this becomes negative 6 plus 2y equals 4. All right? So now your 2y becomes 4. Remember, if this goes over there, or if you have to get rid of this negative 6, you've got to add 6 to it. And then you have plus 6 there. And then your 2y is 10. And to get your y, we divide both sides by 2, and your y would be 5. Now check if this answer is correct by substituting these values into any of the original equations. So if I take the top one and say 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, yeah? Plus, now 2 times 5 is 10. Now, negative 6 plus 10 is actually 4. So it shows that this is actually correct, as you can clearly see. So that makes it really correct. Now, there's a bit we'll have to do as well, which is for the very higher classes. So for this bit, I'm going to copy this bit here. And let's copy that, paste it on here for us. Okay, now in this case, you can clearly see that to make these bits, to make any of the variables same coefficient, you might not be able to do that straight away. But there is a way you can go about it, which is what I'll show you in a moment. If I decide to make y the subject here, does it really matter? Now, one thing you need to know is, if you decide to make y the subject here, and then you have 5 negative x, you still end up wanting to find how to solve the question. They've already given you what y is. Why don't you replace what y is into the first equation here? So if I say x plus, instead of writing y, I'm going to write 3x plus 1, all right, equals 5. That's what I'm going to write. Okay, so this becomes 4x plus 1 equals 5. And then your 4x becomes 4, because we eliminate the 1 here, and your x becomes 1. So if I draw a line here, if x is 1, 1 plus y equals 5, what could y be? Y equals 4. Because x is 1, what can I add to 1 to get 5 is 4. And that's the answer really. And we can check this out as well. 3x is 3 times 1, if we were to replace x with 1, which is 3, and 3 plus 1 will give you 4. So that's the higher bit. Hopefully this should help you to understand simultaneous equations better. I mean, there are some other examples we could try, but because they're still going to be the same procedure, we don't need to do anything really. Just remember that when you have same signs, you have to subtract the terms from each other, and when you're given the value of 1, what you can do is to change this bit into whatever the variable is to you. So that should